All right, so you know that IBM article on AI you sent over? Well, it really got me thinking. It's from August 2024, so it's hot off the presses, and it really digs into what AI is and how it works and all of that. And you know me, I love this stuff. Expert speaker, are you ready to break this down?
Absolutely. AI is not just some futuristic fantasy anymore.
Yeah.
It's really intertwined with all of our lives, even if a lot of people don't realize it.
It's true, and this IBM article really lays it all out there. So, okay, first things first, the article keeps calling it artificial intelligence, but what does that even mean? I mean, what are we really talking about here?
Well, IBM boils it down like this. It's basically technology that lets computers, mimic human intelligence.
Yeah.
But we're not just talking about just like basic calculations anymore. It's way more than that. It's learning, it's problem solving, it's even creativity.
Yeah. Okay, so it's way more than just a calculator that can solve for X super fast. This is getting interesting. But what's really interesting to me is that AI is already involved in so much of what we experience every single day, even if we don't realize it. I'm talking personalized marketing, fraud detection, even just those movie recommendations that somehow seem to know exactly what I want to watch. What do you think about that?
It's wild how much AI is already woven into our everyday lives. And the thing is, we're only interacting with it more and more, and it's just going to keep increasing as technology gets, more advanced.
So the IBM article breaks down what it calls this like AI hierarchy. They list machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. I'm not going to lie, it sounds a little intimidating at first. Like, am I about to fail an AI pop quiz or something?
Not at all. Honestly, it's very logical once you understand how these concepts all relate to one another.
Okay, good, because my brain is already working overtime just trying to keep up with all of these AI breakthroughs. So walk me through it. Let's start with machine learning. What is that?
So basically, machine learning is like, imagine teaching a computer to learn from experience, kind of like how you would train a dog. You feed it data, and that's kind of like the treats, and then based on that data, it learns how to make decisions, or in this case, predictions, based on the patterns that it sees.
Okay, so instead of teaching a dog to fetch, we're teaching a machine to like predict what I'm going to buy next on Amazon.
Exactly. It's all about recognizing those patterns and using them to figure out what's going to happen next.
Okay, I think I'm with you so far. But then the article goes into deep learning, and sticking with this dog analogy, it kind of feels like we went from teaching fetch to like advanced calculus.
In a way, yeah. Deep learning is where things get really, really interesting. So imagine machine learning, but like way bigger, way more complex. With deep learning, we're talking about these systems called neural networks, and they're actually inspired by how the human brain works.
Well, hold on, neural networks. Are we talking robot brains now?
Not exactly robot brains, but you're on the right track. These networks are basically layers and layers of algorithms, and each layer processes information and then passes it on to the next one. And this is how deep learning is able to do way more complicated tasks than normal machine learning.
Okay, that is honestly kind of mind-blowing. But it
Yeah.
gets even crazier because then the article mentions that deep learning can actually learn without any humans telling it what to do. Like it can just look at data and figure things out on its own. Is that even possible?
It is, and that's the power of something called unsupervised learning. So unlike with traditional machine learning where we're giving the data labels, deep learning can take tons of unlabeled data and find hidden patterns and make connections all by itself.
So we're saying that AI can actually teach itself. That is next level stuff. So then how does this generative AI everyone's talking about fit into all of this? It honestly sounds like, the rock star of the AI world.
Yeah, you could say that. So generative AI takes everything we just talked about with deep learning and uses it to create something totally new. Think about those AI image generators that everyone's going crazy for online,
Yeah.
or ChatGPT, which can basically write anything you ask it to.
Okay, yeah, those are pretty wild. So just to be clear, generative AI wouldn't even exist without machine learning and deep learning, right?
Precisely. Each part of this AI hierarchy builds on the one before it, which leads to some pretty amazing stuff. It's incredible how far things have come.
Okay, so we've got machine learning, which is already doing some amazing things. Then we've got deep learning, which kicks it up like 10 notches. And at the top, we have generative AI, which is blowing everyone's minds. But let's talk about what this means for the average person. Why should people even care about AI? Like, what does it even do for us?
Well, for one, AI is completely transforming a ton of different industries. I'm talking about automating all those boring tasks no one wants to do, improving healthcare, and even making our energy consumption better. And that's really just the start.
Wow, so AI could make our lives easier, healthier, and even save the planet. I am so on board. But I'm guessing it's not all perfect, right? There have to be some downsides to all of this.
Of course, there are always challenges that come with any new technology, especially one as big as AI. Probably the biggest concern people have is that AI will replace our jobs, especially as it gets more sophisticated. And it's a valid concern. It's something that we really need to be thoughtful about and proactive in how we approach it.
That makes a lot of sense. It feels like every time technology takes a big leap forward, there's some growing pains while we're figuring out how to adapt.
Exactly. And on top of that, we have to talk about the ethical considerations because those are huge. We have to make sure that we're developing and using AI responsibly so that it helps everyone.
Right, because just like any powerful tool, it could be used for good or, not so good. It's really up to us to make sure that we're steering it in the right direction.
I think that is a super important point, and it's
Right.
something that I think we should dig a little deeper into.
100%. So to recap, we've broken down that whole AI hierarchy. We've talked about how it's already impacting the real world, both the good and the potentially bad. Where do we go from here?
I think a great next step would be to really zoom in on some of these real-world applications of AI. Maybe we could start with how it's changing the entire landscape of healthcare, which affects everyone, right?
Definitely. You know what? I'm really curious about how AI is being used to find new treatments and cures for diseases. There have been some insane breakthroughs in just the past couple of years, and I would love to learn more about how AI is playing a role in all of that.
Me too. So should we dive into the world of AI-powered healthcare?
Let's do it.
When we talk about AI in healthcare, it doesn't have to be some big futuristic thing. It's already happening all around us, from how we diagnose diseases to how we develop treatments.
Okay, so bring this to life for us. What does AI-powered healthcare even look like? Give us an example.
Okay, so picture this. You go to the doctor, and you have all these symptoms, but no one can figure out what's wrong with you. In the past, figuring out what was wrong could take a long time, and sometimes it was really complicated. But now, we have AI that can help analyze things like X-rays and MRIs, even better than humans in some cases.
So it's like having a super powered medical detective working with your doctor. That's kind of amazing. What about new medications and stuff? How is AI involved in all of that?
That's where things get really exciting. AI is completely changing how we discover new drugs. I mean, it's making it exponentially faster. We're talking about AI analyzing massive amounts of information like genetic data, results from clinical trials, research papers, you name it. And it could use all of that to identify potential drugs and figure out if they'll actually work way faster than we ever could before.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like AI is taking all the guesswork out of making new medicines. So does that mean people will get the treatments they need way faster and they'll actually be more effective?
Exactly. And it's not just about speed, it's about personalization too.
Yeah.
Like imagine getting treatments that were designed just for you based on your genes. AI can help us do that.
Hold on, are you saying we're moving away from this one-size-fits-all medicine and towards something that's totally unique to each person? That would be huge.
It really would. And honestly, this is just the beginning. AI can do even more, like monitoring patients remotely, predicting health risks before they even become a problem, and even helping surgeons operate with incredible precision. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
It sounds like AI is going to revolutionize healthcare as we know it. But I'm sure it's not all easy, right? There must be challenges that come with all of
Oh,
this.
for sure. One of the toughest things is making sure that the data we're using to teach these AI systems isn't biased.
So we need to make sure that the AI we're using for healthcare actually reflects everyone, not just a small group of people, right?
Exactly. And we can't forget about data privacy and security, especially when we're dealing with people's health information.
Yeah, that makes sense. People need to know that their information is being protected. But what about doctors and nurses? Are they worried about AI taking their jobs?
People ask that a lot, but the way I see it, AI isn't here to replace healthcare workers. It's here to help them do their jobs even better. Let AI handle those data-heavy tasks, and then doctors and nurses can focus on what they're best at, you know, caring for patients.
So it's more about working together than it is about one replacing the other, like AI and healthcare workers teaming up to make sure everyone gets the best possible care.
Exactly. We're basically giving humans superpowers with AI to help them do things they could only dream of before.
That's good to hear. Because when it comes down to it, healthcare should always be about people taking care of other people.
Mhm.
And I don't think anything can ever replace that.
I agree. AI is amazing, but I think that human touch will always be the heart of good healthcare.
Well said. Okay, so we've covered how AI is changing the game in healthcare, but this IBM article talks about its impact on other industries too, right? What other areas are being impacted by AI?
Well, one that's changing super quickly is finance. We're using AI to catch fraud, manage investments, and even give people financial advice that's tailored to them.
So it's like having a financial advisor in your pocket 24/7 who can tell you exactly what to invest in.
Exactly. And then there's transportation. AI is a driving force, pun intended, behind self-driving cars, making traffic flow better, and even making sure that transportation is safer and better all around.
That's huge. I can't wait to just sit back and let my car drive me around. But what about jobs in all of this? A lot of people are worried about losing their jobs to AI.
I get it. It's a valid concern. And it's something that we need to really think about. AI will definitely automate certain tasks and jobs, but it will also create new opportunities and entire job sectors that we haven't even thought of yet.
So it's less about jobs disappearing entirely and more about them changing, right? So we'll need to learn new skills and knowledge to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. It's like any big technological shift that's happened before. It's disruptive, things change. But for the people who are willing to learn and change with it, the opportunities are endless.
That makes sense. It's about being willing to learn new things, to be curious, and to adapt to whatever comes next.
Exactly. And that actually brings us to what I think is one of the most important parts of this whole AI thing:
And what's that?
education. We have to prepare future generations with the knowledge and skills they'll need to thrive in a world that's powered by AI.
Okay, so what does that look like? Are we all going to have to become computer programmers or something? So are you saying we all need to become like master coders or data scientists or something?
That would be cool, but probably not necessary for everyone. While those skills are definitely important, we're also going to need people who can be that bridge between all of this crazy technology and, you know, being human.
So almost like AI translators who can help the rest of us understand what AI is even doing.
I like that, yeah. But it goes even further than just translation. We'll need people who can look at AI and really think about what it means for society. People who can say, hold on, is this right?
Hmm.
Or is this even a good idea? People who can actually use AI to solve real problems in creative ways.
So things like critical thinking, creative problem solving, and being able to come up with new ideas, those are the things that are going to be super important as AI becomes a bigger part of our lives.
100%.
Yeah.
And we need to start teaching those skills early on in school.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that kids are curious and adaptable and that they never lose that love of learning, because technology is only going to keep changing.
It's almost like we have to train ourselves to be ready for anything, to be flexible, because the future is coming whether we're ready or not, right? And if this deep dive has taught me anything, it's that the future of AI is full of possibilities, some awesome, some a little scary.
It's true, and that's why I think it's so crucial to be open-minded and willing to learn about AI, because it's not something to be afraid of. It's something to try to understand and, use it to make the world a better place.
I love that, using AI to make the world a better place, because that's what it comes down to, right? Technology is a tool, and it's up to us to use it wisely.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and that's why I think conversations like the one we're having are so important. We need to take AI out of the shadows, look at it honestly, talk about the good and the bad, and really think about what it means for all of us. The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we're all creating together.
Beautifully said. And I think that is the perfect note to wrap up this deep dive on.
I agree. We really dove deep today. We covered everything from what AI even is to how it's going to change healthcare, finance, transportation, and so much more.
But like you said earlier, this is really just the beginning of the conversation. We've given everyone a little taste of what AI is all about, but there's a whole lot more to explore.
There really is. I encourage everyone listening to keep asking questions, keep learning, and really try to understand this technology because it's here to stay.
The future is closer than we think. But if we stay curious, if we use AI responsibly and ethically, then who knows? Maybe AI can help us create a better future for everyone.
I'm with you on that.
Awesome. And on that note, I think it's time for us to power down for today. This has been an incredible deep dive, and I am so excited to see what we uncover next time. Until then, stay curious, everyone.